insulation, I had this put in about, well, let's see, it was probably 2012. So about 10 years ago already? Wow. And this is the amount of sun damage it gets, but it's still soft and doing its insulation thing. Kind of glad I did it this way just so I can observe and see what happens. Mice and things don't really go for it that much here on the house. On the Spartan they did, which I had put in at the same time. I think it's because it's closer to the ground. I think my secret here is this, how wide open it is under here. Nothing wants to live under here but crevice spiders. This brown color is just on the surface of this spray foam, and if I brush it with this brush to get these cobwebs off, it's just soft, supple insulation again. This is my fresh air inlet for the house, and I need it to be a little bit longer. Nylon sandwich making spatula. I made this shitty box last night out of 1x8s. I was testing the fit and this part broke off and I just glued it the fuck back on. I don't care. That glue is real strong, so that's fixed. And then I just bent some nail plates to screw the corners together so that I could adjust it to fit, and then I caulked the hell out of it. Hopefully the sides are airtight enough that when I caulk it to the piece that I already have in there, it'll work. So now I need to pre-drill some holes so I can screw it in. Okay, I'm gonna go in there like this. Now if I caulk around the sides, then termites have to stay out in the open. This screen came out of one of the cabinets in the Spartan. It's vintage 1951 metal mesh. On the top side, the air hole is one piece of maple flooring wide. I cut up an air conditioner filter and keep that pushed down in there. It does look like a spider, scorpion, or carpenter ant could muscle their way in, but I don't have an idea to solve that today. When I built my house, I looked in my Architectural Graphic Standards book under plank and beam construction, and for floor planks this thick, which is what my maple flooring is, I need my beams on 4-foot centers, and my beams need to be double 2x8s. So that's what I did. I have double 2x12s around the sides of the house, and these double 2x8s for the beam. But somehow I messed up the 4-foot centers. This is exactly 4 feet. So my 4-foot wide insulation doesn't have anything to staple to. So I got some more of these 1x2s. I wanted pressure treated 1x2s, but they were out at Home Depot. So I got these plain ones, which are like termite bait. So the termites can eat all of these they want and not get into my house. And if I see a swarm, then I will go and jab this with a screwdriver or something and see if there's termites in it. But as long as they can't get up there, then they can't eat it. But I guess we're going to find out. At least it's kiln dried. It doesn't have powder post beetles in it yet. I think there's some foam in the way that I'm going to have to cut out. So I'm going to have to go around and cut some blobs. If you need to remove spray foam, deli style sandwich spatula is definitely the tool you want. And this is stuck to the wood very well. So this has been up here, I don't know, 10 years or so, and I don't see any separation. I lack in building skills, I make up for in stubbornness. That was supposed to be in the beam. Before I start stapling up the Reflectix, I'm going to go around and remove all these staples. The insulation guy, when he did the spray foam, he just hammer tacked up some thin plastic to enclose the space while he sprayed. And I think they might interfere with my tape. They could poke me in the finger or rip my tape, so I'm going to take those out. This is where if I had two people, the other one could hold this, but I want it to be straight more than I want it to be tight. So if I feel like if I, I could clamp this end and get some clamps. Okay, so now what? That's it for today. To the sides tomorrow. Had a little time to recuperate. Don't know how to do this. kind of a line here to help me line up the edge of this. If I draw a line here, then I can maybe keep this straight. I need a thing that's just the width I need it to be, that I could hold against here. But I have that. I have to just start. Let's see how it goes. Right there. What the hell? I'm not supposed to do that. Alright, I've mostly finished stapling. My new Milwaukee stapler is great. I love it. It worked really good. It has not even run the battery down. This job took all but one strip of staples. I have one strip left. And that's for a 12 by 18 house with joists on 4-foot centers. So for 16-inch centers, it would take a lot more staples. You would need 2 boxes at least for a 12 by 18 space. In conclusion, this is hard. It's hard to get it straight and taut. I don't know what the best way is to do it. This is the one where I stapled the side and then I pulled it across. The middle one, I did a little bit on each side and went along, and I ended up with some little discontinuities like that. Then the last one, I stapled one side intermittently, then did the outside, and then took the staples out and tightened it up. That one's probably the best, but the edge is a disaster. I do have some aluminum channel to put across this way, but I'm going to tape it first. I stapled pull this one inside the box. That was a mistake. I'm undoing it already. Last one. If I was stronger, I could push harder on the stapler and I wouldn't have to hammer these in, but I'm losing arm strength as the day goes on. The best thing I found to cut the tape is scissors, and it's a little bit hard to start it. But once you do get it started, you want to stick it to the thing and then pull the backing out as you go. So hold it straight and then pull the backing out and stick it down. I went into winter with the bottom of my house all sealed off from wind and water vapor. I turned on the electric heat in the bathroom floor, and it was very comfy. When I do my exercises on cold mornings, it's chilly on the floor. But I don't think that's the fault of what's underneath. The problem is low-quality sliding glass doors for windows, basically a freeze ray built into my wall. I took some measurements of the temperature of the floor on a cold morning. It's definitely colder by the windows. But it's really only cold in Beachton a few days a year, and the design choice is worth it. This view really puts the pine in supine. I made some charts to analyze my energy use history to see if I had any kind of savings since adding Reflectix. I actually used more electricity this February than last year, but I use electricity for my work, not just for heat. Is it weird that 1/3 of my power bill is fees unrelated to energy use? This non-negotiable $38 a month makes it feel like I've already hit the point of diminishing returns on insulation. I am considering upgrading my house mini-split though. It just doesn't get that cold anymore. As for other performance, I have not seen a scorpion in the house since I taped up all that Reflectix. But the carpenter ants cannot resist my front door. At night they're just all over my porch, and they can squeeze in past my door sweep. Are they after termites? What are they doing? I caught one with some prey in its mouth, and it looks really suspicious. Is that termite or some other kind of larvae? If a bunch of winged alates come out inside my house in another month, I guess I'll know for sure. And then I'll make part 4. Sure hope I don't have to.